Hey Browns fans, Nathan Zegura alongside the Hoff, Joe Thomas, as we get ready for day 8 of Browns training camp. Actually, it's in the books, and this is the 2-minute drill brought to you by University Hospitals. The first thing you'll notice is that we are inside in the inclement weather, and boy, it was coming down. It forced the Browns inside after the early portion of practice today, but a day in the pads, and we saw some good work out there.
Yeah, a lot of good work. Anytime you can put the pads on in training camp, get a little bumping, they're going to get a lot better, especially when you start talking about the one-on-ones between the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen. And we saw a lot of that today.
Yeah, and speaking of the one-on-ones, earlier before they had to go inside, we had a little DB wide receiver one-on-one, and there was something on the line on the last play. And Travell Harris, an undrafted free agent out of Washington State, came up with a big catch. The offense celebrated. The defense had to do push-ups, and I noticed head coach Kevin Stefanski also doing push-ups, which is tough, right? Because he's really on both sides, so it feels like maybe a no-win situation for him in that one.
I feel like he just wanted a little extra exercise, knowing that he is so committed to his fitness regime. He looks fantastic, so he was stealing any opportunity he could to get a little pump in there, I think.
We got to look at the offensive line, a room that you've spent some time with this week, and Joel Bitonio got a Veterans Day off today, and filling in for him, we saw both Drew Forbes and Blake Hance get some work there with that first team at left guard, and then Nick Harris, the Browns center, unfortunately had to leave practice today, undisclosed injury. We'll get an update there. Ethan Posick stepped up there. But what do you like so far from what you've seen from this offensive line? And then again, a day in pads. We saw some big running lanes as the day went on.
Yeah, I'm seeing really good things from their run blocking, right? We know that that's going to be an important part of this offense. They're going to lean a lot on that running game. So for the offensive line to be able to open up the holes that they've been opening up has been really key, and I think it's been a really good sign for the Browns early on. And talk about the impressive stable of running backs that the Browns have right now. Really an embarrassment of riches at running back.
Yeah, we saw some big runs from Nick Chubb today, as we do every day. Jerome Ford had some nice runs, some catches. Jonas Johnson caught a big ball up the sideline. And then even John Kelly, who's the 5th running back right now on the Browns depth chart. I think he's going to blow up this preseason. He looked great out there. But this was also a good day for the defense, and we got to catch up with Browns linebacker coach Jason Tarver. What stood out from what he had to say to us?
He was talking about Jacob Phillips and the progress that he's made in training camp, how he's really starting to pick up on the speed of the game, and he's really starting to dissect offenses based on their formation and their shifts to be one step ahead of the offense once the ball is snapped.
And with Anthony Walker out, he's getting all of the work as a team starting Mike linebacker. He had a great day, and said Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was locked in today and had a good day for the Browns. Now this defense, it is going to be, I think, one of the very best in the NFL. Myles Garrett, sometimes it's almost disruptive to practice the way that he gets in the backfield, and that's why Joe's very happy to be here with me right now and not out there going against him. But we got to tip our cap to DeAnthony Bell, a safety I've talked about a few times here, had a big pick 6 indoors, and we don't have any footage of that, but the defense was fired up, and it's good to see kind of that camaraderie from that unit that I think is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, very, very good and very, very deep, like you mentioned. We watched them in one-on-ones, and they had their handful of victories, which was really impressive. And then they carried it over onto the field, getting in the passing lanes a number of times, breaking up plays, making those interceptions, making those key plays, which if the Browns want to be very successful, when Deshaun Watson's on the sidelines, it's going to be that defense that's going to have to pick up the slack.
All right, Hoff, you've done a full week here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea. We're all better for it. So right now, let's get the Hoff's final thoughts. Everything you've seen right here, what's your big takeaway for Browns fans?
Big takeaway is that the Browns running backs are really, really good. Nick Chubb looks as good as ever. Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt, the list goes on at running back. They've got so many guys that they're moving Demetric Felton permanently to slot receiver, to one of those areas of need. Been a lot of receivers that have been dinged up, but that running back room looks as good as ever.
That's right. Great ground game, great defense, great offensive line. That's what's going to have to carry the Browns in this early portion of the season without Deshaun Watson. For the great Joe Thomas, I am Nathan Zegura saying thanks for joining us for another edition of the 2-Minute Drill brought to you by University Hospitals.